Hello. So, as I understand it, there were some technical glitches with the um, video that I recorded earlier. So, we'll try this again. So, first of all, kids, I want you to stop by the office and pick up these workbooks. Kids, these workbooks um, are valuable, and it seems to me that this is how we're going to be communicating in this program. And so you really need to stop by the office and pick one of these up. If stopping by the office is going to pose a great hardship on any of you, kids, I can deliver these. Just let me know. Um, Probably, well, maybe tonight. I do have an all-wheel drive, so I think I can just about get anywhere. But if this is going to be an issue, kids, please let me know and I will drop these off at your house. No contact, of course. So, having said that, kids, there's some things that we need to do. So, we're making these workbooks work for us. And on the first page of our workbook, kids, Earth, Moon, and Sun, we're going to put some annotation reminders up here. And down here, kids, we're going to put how you're going to be graded. And so we're going to get away from the weekly quizzes and we're going to go more towards this rubric. And I'm going to tell you how you're going to be graded, like right here. Kids, and I'm just going to ask you to print this out or write it down. And then kids, please glue it or tape it down here so that you remember, hey, this is how I'm being graded. And we're going to have to do some online stuff. And as I'm learning, kids, there are lots of glitches with the technology, especially in bad weather. So guys, just work with me and keep me up to date as to what's going on, and I will work with you as far as due dates and expectations. So kids, here's what I'm going to be grading: your terms, our concepts, and our participation. Kids, this week, we don't have an assessment, so don't worry about it. This week, we're going to be working with terms, concepts, and participation. Kids, over here, I'm telling you how to get the 3 points. The rest is kind of on you to prove to me, to give me evidence that you are working on your science. So kids, for terms, guys, you're going to highlight terms that are new or that you don't understand. So in the reading, kids, in our workbook, I should be seeing that you are highlighting and putting definitions over here of words that you don't understand. Kids, I don't know if you can do that online. I know you can get the reading online, but I don't know how you would get the definitions. Maybe just an old-fashioned Gmail. But kids, work on that. The concepts, kids, this week's concept: where does the moon get its light? And what is the deal with that line between the dark and the light? Kids, that's the concept that we're going to work with this week. Guys, you need to answer that question with evidence and cite your documentation. Guys, we have evidence from our materials. We have evidence from some notes that I'm going to show you how to get, kids, and then you're going to have to post to the argument board. Kids, we're going to post our presentations. I'm not exactly sure what that's going to look like yet, but I will figure that out. Kids, there will be a link in your Google Classroom to the argument post. I don't know what we're going to do with that. And then finally, kids, our participation. Kids, for you bringing your workbook to class every day, well, guys, I guess just working in your workbook and answering questions with evidence and reasoning. Kids, evidence and reasoning is so important in science. Now, if there's any questions about how I'm going to be grading for your weekly grade, kids, like I said, we're going to be getting away from quizzes and going to this rubric. There are no assessments this week, so kids, that's out of the equation. Now, I'm going to close that. I'm not going to close that. Now, the next thing in our week, kids, our week 24 bell ringers. Kids, so it says I kind of took it easy on you this week, guys, because I was so wicked last week. But I'll get to that in just a second. Hello. And still with the small, slow computer. Okay, bell ringers for this week. The only trick, guys, is here in numbers 1 and 2, it says to draw the positions of the sun, earth, and moon. Kids, for solar eclipses and for lunar eclipses, guys, honestly, if you just want to go into insert an image eventually, insert, come on, insert an image. Here we go. Kids, you can either upload it, you can take a picture, okay, here with the camera. Kids, you can search the web, which I think would probably be the easiest thing to do. Search the web, and then kids, over here, when it finally shows up, guys, just type in a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse. Now, here's the secret to those two answers. Guys, it's all about the sun, the earth, and the moon. What is their position? One of them is the sun, earth, and moon, and one of them is the sun, moon, and earth. So make sure that you get those right. Kids, numbers 3 and 4, it's just a matter of Googling the definitions, and I think you'll be okay there. Notice, kids, that on number 3, I think the original question said something about this can only occur during a what kind of moon and happens maybe so many times each year. Kids, they're talking about a lunar eclipse. So hopefully I've cleared that up for you. Now, I'm going to close that. I'm going to open up. Okay, kids, our word bank for the week 23 bell ringers. So you'll notice, kids, that I was being particularly kind in some of your responses. While they were very creative, kids, I still want you to have the right ideas behind your word banks or behind your bell ringers. So guys, here is the word banks for your week 23 bell ringers. If you're happy with your grade, then let it go. If you're not happy, kids, redo it. You'll have to unsubmit it, and then go back and type in your words, and then kids resubmit it. And if you do that, please let me know. Now, guys, the last part, and probably the most important part, is our Earth, Moon, and Sun, Chapter 1, lesson for the week. Really, and somebody's already turned it in. Okay, so kids, log into Amplify. And when you log into Amplify, and you get your nails done, and you go for a nice walk, and maybe fix some hot cocoa. Oh, my stars, this is slow. And maybe call your grandma and tell her that you love her. Oh, someday. Do you think it's moving this slow just because it's cold out? I don't know. Okay. So kids, when you log in to your Amplify lesson, your Amplify science lesson, this is what you're going to see. And you say, oh my gosh, Mrs. Strand, I can't do anything because it doesn't have anything. Yes, it does, guys. Scroll down. Okay, here we go. Kids, there are 5 activities that we need to do this week. And don't worry, guys, they're not going to be long and cumbersome. Kids, the first one is a warm up. Kids, the second one is a video. The third one is taking pictures. Kids, this one, I have some notes for you. Kids, we get to go on the simulation and play around. Explore. Now, kids, and then we'll click over here. Kids, there's a homework page. I believe it's page 8. And then, guys, number 5 is a family homework experience. Kids, you can do this if you want to. You do not have to do number 5. Okay? But if this is something that interests you and you want to take it a little further, guys, do number 5. That would be a lot of fun. But it's going to be cold out. All right, now, kids, so I'm just saying what I've sent to you. Kids, here's an overview of what hopefully you're going to be learning. Kids, this stuff I don't think is a big deal, but over here, guys, tomorrow or sometime this week, kids, I want you to go through the Google Classroom slides and watch those. If you have PowerPoint, kids, that would be an option. But if you don't have PowerPoint, I know that Google Slides work. Speaking of, that's another thing, kids, that I learned last week is that this program works best in Google Chrome. Now, if you're on one of the school's Chromebooks, that's not an issue. But if you're on a different kind of computer, you might want to take a look at what your browser is. So, kids, we've got some videos on here. We've got class. I don't know. Kids, here is the article that we're going to read. Kids, I think it's somewhere in here as well. And kids, I think you're good to go. But if you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop me an email and let me know what the issue is, and we will solve this. Okay, and there it is. Okay,